I probably found about 8 meanings of it. About 8 meanings. Number 1 is anxiety. Number 2 is concern. Number 3 is worry. Number 4 is something cares, something you care about. Number 5 is distress. Number 6 is affliction, including grief is with it also. Mainly, and this is the beauty of it. Let's go to hazan. What is hazan? Is sadness. Feeling sad, sadness. So he sought, or we, or I, or all of us, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect me or to help me when I feel 2 feelings. So the first part of the dua is about a feeling. It's something I feel. The next one is something about I do or I don't do. Are you with me? So the first thing is I feel. I feel I am worried about something. And when you look at the scholars, probably I looked at 10 commentary of this dua. They say, worry, something didn't yet happen, but you are thinking about it. And you're afraid something is going to happen in the future. For example, the son, I always bring children because children is the biggest worry, right? Everyone you talk to them, their worry is the children, whatever the ages, right? If they are 2, they are worried they are not eating or grown. If they're 5, they are going to go to school. If they are in high school, which college? If they college, it's always. So, for example, your child is having finals, right? What is the worry? The worry, is he going to do well? Is going to get good grades? Well, he got a good grades. Now, what do you worry? Is he going to get good applications? Is he going to write well? Is his personal statement is good? Will he get interview? Will he get accepted? All these things is something didn't happen yet. But you are worried about that it's going to happen. What part of our life we spend in that category? A lot. From the morning you wake up, nothing happened yet. Nothing, right? He did not fail. She did not get sick. I am worried. Oh, there's a flu everywhere. I'm so worried my child. Didn't happen. And when it becomes so it's worry, but in the Arabic language, when it becomes incapacitating to you, that it's so overwhelming, it's overtaking you, that it even prevents you from thinking the right way. That's one of the ways you say, Allahumma inni bika minal-hammi. I seek refuge. Please protect me from this. Protect me from this feeling, because it's a feeling. It's not an action yet. And it's a feeling of the soul. Imam Ibn al-Qayyim, he said, the first thing Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam asked Allah to protect us is from something affect internally, something affect the soul. And it affects the heart, and ultimately it will affect the body. Because you say, you know what, I don't feel like going out. I'm too worried. I didn't even cook today. I'm too worried. Nothing happened. Subhanallah. Al-ham. So al-ham is something that absolutely incapacitates us. There is a bad ham, a bad worry, and there is a good worry. None of us, and I'm not exaggerating, have the good worry. What is the good worry? And it's another hadith of Rasul. You worry about your akhirah. And that's another hadith of Rasul. So there's 2 things I'm concerned about. Didn't happen, because akhirah didn't happen yet. It's something in the hereafter or something about the dunya. Look at that hadith of Rasul. It's in at-Tirmidhi. He said the following. Man kanat al-akhirah hamma. Whomsoever the hereafter is his main concern. The main thing worried about. Where will I end up? Do we ever worry about this? Where will I end up? Which part of Jannah, if even Jannah? Who's going to be my neighbor in Jannah? Will I see Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? What I'm going to eat in Jannah? What my grave will look like? How I'm going to answer the question? None of this. Right? So he said, whomsoever kanat al-akhirah hamma. This is what he or she is worried about. There. What I'm going to get. Because we are these days in a materialistic world. If I do, I want to get. He said the following: جعل الله غناه في قلبه. Allah made him feel rich internally, which is the most important thing. That means you don't feel you need anything in this dunya. وَجَمَعَ لَهُ شَمْلَهُ. And everything he worries about in dunya made it one. Made it only one. وَجَمَعَ لَهُ شَمْلَهُ. You don't have 10 things you're thinking of. I feel so overwhelmed. There's so many things I have to do today. No. Think about the akhirah to all become one. And third, وَأَتَتْهُ الدُّنْيَا وَهِيَ رَاغِمَةٌ. Dunya, matter, material, world, this worldly thing will come to him, even if he doesn't want it. By force, what will come to him? By doing one thing. Worry about akhirah. Now the other way around, which most of us, وَمَنْ كَانَتِ الدُّنْيَا هَمَّهُ. SubhanAllah, yani he knows what we worry about. Whomsoever, the main concern is this dunya, this life. What is life? How did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala define dunya in the Quran? Children and wealth. المال والبنون زينة الحياة الدنيا. Wealth and children. This is what we worry about from morning to evening. True or false? Right? And you name it, it's gonna be, right? It doesn't matter how much I have. If I have $10 a month, then I am worried about the $10. And if I have $1 million a month, I'm worried about the $1 million. Really, it doesn't matter. Everyone is worried. It depends on who he or she is, or where are they in their life. So whomsoever, dunya was his worry. Now remember the hadith, originally the dua, أعوذ بك minal-hammi. I seek refuge in you from being worried about things. Meaning, don't worry about dunya. So he says, Man kanat dunya hamma, whomsoever worry about dunya, what will happen? Opposite the three things. جعل الله فقره في عينيه. He, and this is all figure of speech, made him always see that he or she is poor, don't have enough. Subhanallah, we have plenty. And you know what I'm talking about. All of us go back home, right? Or when you travel, even if you were born and raised here, when you travel abroad, especially certain countries, what do you feel? How much I have, how prosperous I'm living, right? Some people literally don't know what is soda mean, let alone some don't know any of these gadgets things. Now we look at us, what do we talk about? So number one, when I worry about dunya, Allah will make me see that I don't have enough. I'm poor. وَفَرَّقَ عَلَيْهِ شَمْلَهُ. Made him worry about too many things. It's not one, too many things. وَلَمْ يَأْتِهِ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَا قُدِّرَ لَهُ. And nothing from dunya will come but what Allah already decreed. So all this worry is not going to change much. You know, we say this, don't worry, nothing is going to change. So the first thing, أعوذ بك minal-hammi. What about hazan? What is sorrow? What is pain? Something happened, then I'm crying about it. And I'm feeling sad about it. Again, what do we cry and sad about? Number one,
losing a family member.
Children, didn't get married, is not a good wife, not a good husband, whatever, it is something, right? She's not very happy, he's not very happy, didn't have children yet. They had children, they have only girls, they didn't have boys, whatever it is. SubhanAllah, don't you see this? Whatever it is, we find something to feel sad. So hazan, so you know the difference, hazan, feeling sorrow about something happened. So what should I do? I feel sad, right? So my son is not happy, my daughter is not happy, I didn't get to the college I want. Right? Or I went to the college and find that I don't like it. I don't have friends. This depends what age you are. What should I do? What did you go back again? What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught us? Right? Go to Surah Al-Hadid. Right? Say that again.
Think about akhirah.
If you think about akhirah, you're not going to be worried. And you're not going to be sad. But I'm sad already. Right? This is the first thing. It's all the answers. SubhanAllah. It's in the Quran and it's in the Sunnah. We just don't know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Hadid, At the end of Surah Al-Hadid. ما أصاب من مصيبة في الأرض ولا في أنفسكم إلا في كتاب من قبل أن نبرأها. No calamity will befall you. And Allah used the word مصيبة, meaning it's not just something minor. مصيبة, you name it. في الأرض, whether it happened on this earth, meaning it could be in nation, it could be in people, أو في أنفسكم, or it is me personally. Whether me, my body, whether me, my family, or my circle. Musibah, calamity, that's why we feel sad. What did Allah say? None of this will happen, but it's already written. إلا في كتاب. It's written. من قبل أن نبرأها. It's before you see it. Before you even think of it. It is written. إن ذلك على الله يسير. This is very easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if I think about what have befalled me, what have happened to me, it will not miss me. Will I feel sad? Why did I do that? Why did I say this? What should I do? Allahumma inni bika minal-hammi wal-hazan. Turn to Allah and I said, I'm feeling, I should not feel this. Ya Allah. And another hadith of Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, which a lot of us need to learn. You probably don't hear this hadith a lot. لكل شيء حقيقة. Everything, and this is a hadith of Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, everything in this life has a reality. ولا لكل شيء حقيقة ولا يصل. I just want to read it short because I don't want to say something that is not exactly. لكل شيء حقيقة. Right? لكل شيء حقيقة وما بلغ عبد حقيقة الإيمان. No human being will be real believer حتى till reach this moment. What is the moment? حتى يعلم أن ما أصابه لم يكن ليخطئه وما أخطأه لم يكن ليصيبه. You and I will not reach the reality of faith unless I know for sure what befalled me will never have missed me. What happened to me will never have missed me. If I got flu today, that means I will get a flu. It was written, and whatever I did, it is not gonna prevent it. And ما أصابه لم يكن ليخطأ وما أخطأ, what's missed me will never have touched me. What does this make me feel? Peace. So when he is alayhi salatu wasalam asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to save me, or I seek refuge in you to protect me from these feelings. Number one, this feeling is real. Don't brush it. Otherwise you would not have asked Allah to protect us from. It's real, it's there, right? And it's actually in the Quran. لا تحزن إن الله معنا. Don't be sad. You all know this. Surah At-Tawbah. Don't be sad. Allah is with us. Allah is with us. So the feeling is right. When does the feeling become not right? When it incapacitates me. When it makes me almost like crippled, where I cannot do anything. Should I feel sad when I miss my salah? Should I feel sad when I miss an act of obedience to Allah? I should. So the feeling of sad is not something we don't want. It's the negative sadness that will make me what? Again, almost crippled. Or more than what it should be. Or, which is the worst part, when I start saying things or doing things disobedient to Allah. Something happened to me, I say, why me? Here I am. I am obedient to Allah. I love Allah. I do all this for Allah. Look what happened to me. So, أعوذ بك من الهم والحزن. And Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, that's something for all of us to remember. He was the perfect human being Allah created. He is seeking refuge from bad manners. Bad manners. Anything that doesn't befit a human being, I turn to Allah and says, Ya Allah, lift it from me. It could happen. I shouldn't say I am a good believer, nothing is going to happen to me. It can happen to me. I turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and I ask Him to protect me from this. So number one. Number two, so the first two is أعوذ بك minal-hammi wal-hazan. Number two, I seek refuge in you. From what? Ajzi wal-kasal. What is ajz? And what's kasal? Ajz is incapable. It's like crippled. It's like disabled. I can't. For example, I always prayed standing. Always. And then got an accident. And then I cannot stand anymore. That's ajz. Now I am incapable. Now I am disabled. Disabled, basically, right? I was always able and loved to fast Monday and Thursday. Then I suddenly became, can't do it, medically speaking, can't do it. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from now, not when this happened. Now you're healthy. Now, alhamdulillah, you can walk, you can talk, you can see, you can everything. Healthy human being. Now you make this dua. There also you make it. Inshallah, Allah will protect us. But now, because nothing is permanent, things can change like this. So you turn to Allah and says, Ya Allah, keep me this way. أعوذ بك من العجز. I don't want to wake up in the morning and suddenly I have a stroke and I can't talk anymore. Or I got blind and I can't read anymore. That's all ajz, incapability. And if you look at al-ajz, is incapacity, it's weakness, it's disability, it's failure to do something. This is the difference between the first and the second. I want to do it, but I can't. I can't physically. I want to fast, but I can't. I get headaches, I get migraine, I faint, my blood sugar goes lower, my blood pressure goes up. Something prevents me. Kasal is the opposite. Kasal is laziness. Kasal is laziness, sluggishness, inactivity, to be coward. Inability it's I don't feel like I want to do it. There's nothing wrong with me physically, nothing. And which one we have more? Absolutely. You know, are you fasting tomorrow? Just don't feel like. This is laziness. Versus I can't fast because I have a medical problem. Do you wake up for tahajjud, especially these days? I mean, these days, if you wake up at 5:30, a lot of people, 5:30, they are on the road because work starts early. If you wake up 5:30, you will be able to make 2 rak'at, right? Too lazy. Can't. I love the bed. It's too cold. I love staying in bed. Even you're awake, but you're still in bed. This is kasal. Versus I need to be on medication. And you know probably a lot of people like that. I need to be on medication and the medication makes me sleep. And I cannot wake up. So you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect you from both. Look in the Quran and see, did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use the word kasal in the Quran? Laziness. He did. And in the negative way, when he described al-munafiqeen, the hypocrites, what did he say? وَإِذَا قَامُوا إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ قَامُوا كُسَالَى يُرَاءُونَ النَّاسِ وَلَا يَذْكُرُونَ اللَّهَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing the hypocrites. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us all. And of course in Surah An-Nisa is talking about the real hypocrites, where they show something and they don't believe in Allah. But this is their sign. إِذَا قَامُوا إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ قَامُوا كُسَالَى. When time of salah comes in, and when they want to get up for salah, they're lazy, dragging their feet. يُرَاءُونَ النَّاسِ. They do it just so people will say they are praying. وَلَا يَذْكُرُونَ اللَّهَ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. That's another sign of النفاق. They don't remember Allah but few. But little. Maybe once a week. It's not, the opposite is يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ ذِكْرًا كَثِيرًا. O you who believe, remember Allah abundantly, plenty, always, all the time. So I don't want to be kasal. And we sometimes have this, especially on the weekend. On the weekend, we feel, I don't want to get out of this couch. especially these days when it's too cold. I don't want to even move. When I feel this way, even if I don't have anything to do, we always have things to do. There is always things to do. I'm not talking about dunya. Right? Now combine the first and the second. Allahumma inni bika minal-hammi wal-hazan. I seek refuge from anxiety and worry and feeling sad. These will make me incapable. Because if I am so much worried, I will not have the energy to move. And it will make me lazy. SubhanAllah, see the sequence? So you start with the first one and you really work on it. When do I work on it? Now, when I have nothing to worry about. Alhamdulillah, everything is the way I wanted. Smooth. Life is going the way I want. I seek refuge from Allah that something will happen later on. And may Allah protect us. If it happens, you will seek refuge from it when it happens. Third combination. وَأَعُوذُ بِكَ minal-jubni wal-bukhul. What is jubn? Jubn is cowardness or cowardice. Feeling coward, feeling afraid.
I'm sorry, in the laziness, in the kasal, you also say cowardness?
No,
too?
no. Cowardness is cowardness.
Mm-hmm.
But
What
I
was the
am
laziness?
coward.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry?
What was the laziness? Like,
Kasal.
how did, no.
Kasal.
No, yeah, and what else? Laziness and what else?
Kasal, laziness, sluggishness,
Sluggishness.
inactivity.
Oh, okay.
Jubn, being afraid, you have to put this next to it. Afraid from people. Not from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Never fear, the feeling of fear from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes negative. Because these are all negative characters. I seek refuge in Allah to prevent me or to protect me from these. When I feel afraid from people, when I need to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then I don't do it because I'm afraid from people. How common?
Yeah.
Number one, when there is something I know, no doubt, no different opinion, I know Allah loves it, and I know I have to do it, but I don't do it because I am afraid what people will say about me. That's jubn. Then I am so afraid from human beings. I am afraid from the creation of Allah and not from the Creator. I don't, for example, I see something wrong. It's very obvious, something wrong, right? Even my children. I don't want to say it, I don't want to hurt their feeling. You don't want to hurt their feeling, perfect. Say it in a way you don't hurt their feeling, but you need to say it. And if I feel afraid, what should I do? Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me the strength. And one of the best criteria that made Muslims the nation that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them the character of best nation is because of enjoining good and preventing evil. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. The reason when we brag about that we are the best nation Allah created is not because we are created only. Because of this character. If we lose this character, we are not good anymore. We enjoin good and prevent evil. Look at us enjoining good and preventing evil. Where is it? Where is it? And why don't we do it? Because we are afraid. Afraid what people will think of us, how people will react, what will they say. I'm not going to change the world. Everybody else is doing it. I'm not going to be different. Or I am afraid, and this is alone, from doing things please Allah, but I'm just worried. For example, someone in Mecca, I see this all the time. I'm so worried I'm going to go to Tawaf by myself. Don't. You're in the house of Allah. Who's going to protect you? You're there. Right? Or I'm so worried if I fast tomorrow I may faint. Have you fainted before? No, I didn't. Then why are you afraid? Did you see? This is all, by the way, is one of the keys of shaitan. Shaitan has a lot of keys to us. It depends who you are and who I am. Each one has their more than one key. But definitely when you feel afraid, unless you're afraid from Allah or from His punishment, or from, even better, if you're afraid that Allah will not be pleased with me. That is perfect. These are positive feelings. But if I am afraid from human beings, what they will say about me, what they will do to me, then this is the negative. This is when I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect me. With it is bukhul. And bukhul is actually to be stingy. To be stingy, miser, and to give, but with a lot of hesitation. Now, bukhul is not only in money. You're not only miser in money. How about people who doesn't have money? There's a lot of people, barely they can have enough to live. And I'm talking about ends meets, ends meets, to put food on the table. So this doesn't apply to them? What is give me some examples of miserness without money?
To helping each other.
For example, right? And what is this? You're upstairs, right? You're upstairs. New person came in. And obviously this person is a new person, right? They don't know where is the bathroom, for example. They want to go and do wudu, right? What do you need to do? Just little bit, get up, show them where is the bathroom. If I didn't do that and I see this, and I did see this, and I felt, she didn't ask yet, right? And I said, you know what, it's not my business. The bathroom is right there, she just turned on her back and she will see the bathroom. Let alone she asks. And then you say, it's right there. We do this a lot, unfortunately, right? Unfortunately. It's right there. And a lot of people will not ask again. So bukhul is exactly opposite generosity. So now you can understand. You are generous not only in money, you're generous in everything, right? Generous in smile, generous in helping, generous even in knowledge. There's people even in recipes. They are miser. Subhanallah. Right, yes, we women, right? It's a recipe. It's a recipe. And the end result of a recipe is not in my hand or yours. It's in Allah's hand. He's going to make the food taste good. True or false? This is my deen. No, I'm not going to teach them. Ya Allah. So, or for example, your child, mashallah, learned something. I'm not going to teach them. This is only my child. So my child will be the special. This is miser. You're miser. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said it in the Quran. وَمَن يُوقَ شُحَّ نَفْسِهِ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. Whomsoever will be protected from the miserliness of himself, those are the ones who will be successful. I need to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect me from this. Normally, and this is one thing we have to know about ourselves, human beings in general, they are miser more than they are generous. And who said that? It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قل لو أنتم تملكون خزائن رحمة ربي لأمسكتم خشية الإنفاق. If you own the treasures of Allah, you would have held it and you're afraid to spend. By nature, we are a creation of Allah that loves to hold. Go to your wardrobe. How many, whatever, it depends which country you come from, right? That you have not put it on your skin for the last 10 years. And when someone tells you, give it up, no. There's going to be a wedding, which I don't know when this wedding will happen, right? Or I'm going to get invited and I'm going to wear. Or even worse, you gain weight, you get laugh at this. I am not giving it up. I'm going to lose weight. I don't know when this will happen, and I'm going to wear it, right? That's miserliness. Because there's a lot of people are in need. This is because you love to hold. And you apply this on everything else in the house. And I brought an example, very personal, individual for us. Whether shoes, whether it's a clothes, whether it's things in the kitchen, whether things you don't use. You don't use and you don't need. And there's a lot of people in need, but you still keep it. I need to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect me from this. Ajzi, wal-kasal. Now, look at the sequence. You get worried about something didn't happen. Then you're sad about something happened that you have no control over. Then you become incapacitated internally, and you don't have the desire, and even you cannot get up of the bed. And then you will become incapacitated inside feelings and giving. Because when I give, the first thing is inni. I want to give, then my hand right. Or I want to give, then I give. Then I go to the wardrobe and I get all these clothes. So all these, if I am worried about my akhirah, what energy I will have? What energy we have in Ramadan? I always ask myself this question. Am I the same person in Ramadan, outside Ramadan? Same human being, right? Same name, same everything. Same family, same children who you have to feed, same work. If anything, way more activities and way more stress physically in Ramadan externally. But you come run here, especially you guys here, you come run at 8 or 9 and you do Taraweeh till 11 and tomorrow you're at work. Because the worry is al-akhirah, even if it's short. The worry is al-akhirah. You're worried about there, Allah gives me the energy. Don't you ask yourself where this energy is coming from? What is the answer? You say, it's Ramadan. That's how we say it. It's very natural. But that's what it is. You all read Quran in Ramadan.
Because Shaitan is in jail.
No, but my nafs is still working. My nafs is still working. So the point is, when I change my worry, that's why the first thing he put is the worry. Put your resolve and your himma and your concern of the akhirah. And the matter of dunya will come very easy. And the last two, أعوذ بك من ghalabatid-dayn or min ضلع-الدين in another narration, وقهر-rijal. What's ghalabatid-dayn? Dayn is being in debt. So you are in debt. Ghalabatid-dayn, that word meaning that debt has overcome me. The debt became so big that I don't think I have enough resources to pay it. Or even if it's small, but that person who I have to give the money to is so nagging and insisting on me that I feel overwhelmed. Subhanallah. So it doesn't matter if you are in debt $50 or a $10, but that person who gave you the $10 every morning and evening remind you, where is my money? Where is my money? You get so overwhelmed. Or it could be thousands of dollars and no one is asking you, but you feel so uncomfortable that I am in debt. And you know this, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not make us feel this way. And this is especially these days because of a big problem called credit cards. Credit cards, but credit cards don't move themselves, right? Credit cards don't go to the mall alone, right? And then they go to the machine, and these days Apple Pay, right? They don't. It is me. The credit card made it harder on me to say no to myself, right? Most of the things we buy, most, I wouldn't say everything. If I ask myself this question, do I need it? The answer is no. So what happens? Suddenly you get the statement of the credit card and you're overwhelmed. Did I do that? This is me? Why do you, for your teenage children, you put a limit, right? $500, whatever the limit is. Why? Because you are so worried they will go over. See ourselves. ghalabatid-dayn, why you also, not only internally, you will be overwhelmed, but you may end up doing things that is disobedient to Allah. Either I will humiliate myself, either I'm going to do things that's not pleasing to Allah to pay my debt. And being in debt, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala not put us in that. Ya Rabbi Ameen. And I'm talking here, most of us here are willingly. So I seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help to prevent me from this. qahrir-rijal, the last part of it, is when I am overtaken or overwhelmed by people. And here it says men, but you can apply it in general. When I am so afraid and worried from people that they can hurt me, that they will do this to me, I need to please them. You know, for example, what is the best example? Working people. Your bosses. qahrir-rijal, yes. Because sometimes bosses really makes the life of the employee really miserable. Or it could be none of this, but it's in me. It's in me. There's nothing. The man or the woman didn't do anything. But I'm so worried. Because I'm worried about my dunya and I'm worried about my job. I'm worried my boss didn't say good morning to me this morning. That means something. You know how this? These are all worried. Worries that I make. qahrir-rijal. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect me from that feeling. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm just going to share a couple of, for example, ayat where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and including this dua. Allah said a beautiful ayah in Surah At-Tawbah. This is actually one of the ayah that really scares me myself, right? In it, the believers made a dua. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ عَاهَدَ اللَّهِ لَإِنْ أَتَانَا مِنْ فَضْلِهِ لَنَصَّدَّقَنَّ وَلَنَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ. Some of them made an oath and a covenant with Allah that if أَتَانَا مِنْ فَضْلِهِ, if Allah will give us from His grace, and this applies to everything, Allah's grace. Allah gives me children, I'll do this. Allah make me get to that college, I'll do this. Allah gives me that money, I'll do this. Allah give me that house, you name it. So that what they did, وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ عَاهَدَ اللَّهِ, they made a covenant to Allah. لَإِنْ أَتَانَا مِنْ فَضْلِهِ, if He gives me from His grace, لَأَصَّدَّقَنَّ, I will give charity. This is specifically. وَلَا أَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الصَّالِحِينَ, and I'm going to be righteous person. فَلَمَّا أَتَاهُمْ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ, when He gave them from His grace, بَخِلُوا بِهِ, the word bukhul. بَخِلُوا بِهِ, they became miser. وَتَوَلَّوْا وَهُمْ مُعْرِضُونَ, and they turned their back as if they didn't do anything. And with whom this covenant? This is with Allah. What was the punishment? Ya Allah, this is scary. فَعَقَبَهُمْ نِفَاقًا فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ. He punished them not externally. He punished them internally. Internally, they became munafiq, they became hypocrite. إِلَى يَوْمِ يَلْقَوْنَا, till the day they meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. بِمَا أَخْلَفُوا اللَّهَ مَا وَعَدُوا, as a result of what they did not keep their promise, as a result of not keeping the promise. بما أخلفوا الله ما وعدوا وبما كانوا يكذبون, and they were liars. So when I make covenant with Allah, Ya Rabbi, give me this, whatever is this, it could be small, right? And you need to teach the children also. Ya Allah, you give me this chocolate, I'm gonna do this. It doesn't matter, they have a chocolate and we have a chocolate, right? If I'm gonna say this with Allah, I'm gonna keep it. Because the punishment can be أعقبهم نفاقا, may Allah protect us. So if you look at al-bukhul, miserliness in the Quran did not come in any positive way at all. Be generous. And you always remember this hadith when we are in fundraising. ما نقص مال من صدقة. No money, yes, no money, no charity will make your wealth less. If any, and Allah is my witness, you give more, see what Allah will give you. You don't know where it is coming from and how things, and it's not necessarily you will get more money. You will get things you loved became on sale suddenly. And you go and buy it half price. Where did this come from? We don't think it was like, you just gave a charity. That's what Allah, the hadith is. مَا نَقَصَ مَالٌ مِّن صَدَقَةٍ. Whenever you give, that's money. You help someone, because that's generosity. You help someone, not money. You help someone, you go and pick them up. You help someone by, for example, calling them. They need a medicine. You say, don't worry. I'm passing by, I'll stop and get it for you. This is all generosity, right? See what Allah will give you. So that's al-jubn wal-bukhul, being coward, being afraid from human being, and being miser is one of the things that is really negative criteria or negative character, and that's also in the Quran. One of the final lessons that we need to learn from all of this dua of Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam. Number one, don't, Allahu Akbar. This dua in general, asking Allah, the supplication itself, needs to be plenty. It's not one time and Allah didn't answer me. One time and nothing happened. Kathrat-du'a, because remember what we said. The first thing Sayyidina Anas said, that he taught me to say this plenty. And there is some narration, some commentary says, you say this in the morning and the evening adhkar, this dua. This dua, morning and evening adhkar. Morning and evening time that you remember. I'm sorry?
You forgot about it being overpowered by men.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. So you use plenty meaning at least twice a day. Plenty meaning at least twice a day. Number one, you really need to have this belief that this dua, the fact you are saying it, have the belief that Allah will respond to your need. Whether you're worried, it's going to be removed. Whether you're sad, it's going to be changed. Whether you know you are miser, or you know you can't pay easily, or you can help easily, Allah will respond. And mainly, actually, and this is usually used when you are in debt. Anyone in debt, the first thing they tell them is this dua. And the debt including when you are in a pledge, because you pledged and now suddenly you don't have the money to pay it. Use this dua. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make it easy. And when you are overwhelmed by people, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends someone on you, right, that makes your life hard, and this could be anyone, not necessarily only the boss, anybody, he or she that's making your life so difficult. أعوذ بك من قهر-rijal. I seek refuge in you from being overwhelmed and overtaken by human being. آمين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه تسليما كثيرا. جزاكم الله خيرا. Do you have any question, any comment? وإياكم. Yes. Yes, please do. I can't hear you. Can we just listen, please? جزاكم الله خير.
How do you rank the anxiety disorders with being like close to Allah? Like is that
Okay.
that like
Yeah, absolutely. And we have a psychiatrist right up in here. Even when someone is physically diagnosed with anxiety, and it's a disease, we cannot neglect. I'm a physician. With the medicine that the physician is writing it to me, I make this dua. Because that dua, bi-idhnillah, by the power of Allah, will make the medicine works. Because a lot of the medicine has failure rate. Not the medicines are not 100%. Why some people respond, why some don't, we don't know. So the fact I go and see a physician, ask for help, but at the same time, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for this, absolutely. Second, depression and anxiety. Part of it, yes, being away from Allah. One of the Sahabi, companion, came to Rasulullah, said to him, I am depressed. And that tells you even the Sahaba can get it. What was his answer? He said, Astaghfirullah. Ask Allah for forgiveness. That means when I am away from Allah, when I'm in a state of disobedience, when I'm in a state of ghafla, it depends who I am. If I'm in a state of heedlessness, this may reflect on me physically. And we all know this. I mean, you probably, Farida, will agree with it.
Also, this anxiety and sorrow is just worrying constantly.
Exactly.
And sorrow is just feeling sad about things. Depression and anxiety, the other twist, the psychiatric sense is different.
Yes.
It's very, very difficult and hard, and they need medications. But this is from just worrying.
Exactly. So the source of it is the worry. So this dua is أعوذ بك minal-hammi wal-kasal. And the last thing I always say to myself before anyone else, what is one of the names of Allah? It's as-salam, the peace. The peace and the peace giver. And every name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has the character, the only one who has the perfect character, and He's the only one who can give it. So if I am away from the source of peace, I am not in peace. And anxiety and depression, I am not in peace internally. It could be everything around me is perfect, but inside I am not. So I turn to the source of the peace. Ya Rabbi, Ameen, inshallah. Wa iyaakum, my Lord, you will do all.